So, here's the thing. Normally, I'd go and see a movie on Thursday, give myself a day to mull it over, record a video on Friday, and then release that video on Saturday. But here where I am, there's been some crazy snowstorms since Wednesday night. So I didn't see a movie this week. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Wait a minute. What's that music?
When I grow up, I wanna be a superorganism. Come on, give it to me.
Of course. I'll just review something that isn't a movie, even though I actually know very little about music. I found out about Superorganism a few months ago when Spotify recommended me their song, Something for Your Mind. I loved it, and I also loved the other singles they'd released at the time, so I looked them up and I found out they had an album coming out. It came out today, and I'm also reviewing it on the same day. Superorganism have this very unique sound. They use a lot of bassy sounds and samples from what sounds like just videos they've found online. Their use of sound effects is also excellent, and the complexity of each track really pays off. But this ends up giving their songs a very psychedelic feel. I thought this sound would make a lot of the songs end up sounding pretty similar and get old quickly. But I guess not, because before I knew it, the album was over, and I went straight back to listen to it again. And on the complexity side, the band consists of 8 members, so it's really not surprising. But what is surprising is how well everything works together. Apparently they just sent each other, because they live in the same house, I think. And apparently they just sent each other different versions of the song, so each person can add different things to it. It's very strange, and I think it works great. I think something very important to this album is the vocals from Orono, and I'm not going to pronounce the last name. They tie the whole thing together and make it flow so much better. One of my favourite things about Superorganism that I did mention in my music awards...
He then realised in editing that he released his Superorganism video before his award ceremony video.
is that they feel like a perfect amalgamate of a bunch of modern trends in music, including mashup culture, things like vaporwave, etc. All it's missing is some heavier hip-hop influences to sort of really be a superorganism, an amalgamate of modern music. But it's much more poppy, I'd say. But it's a good kind of pop. What I'm saying is that this is the perfect millennial internet age band, and I personally really liked it. It feels fun, even with some of the cynical undertones, and the album never feels dull. The only thing that really bugged me in this album was, well, not much actually, except some of the sound mixing in the Prawn song. Depending on what you're listening to it on, you can't actually hear the vocals in the chorus on that song. Other than that, the song Reflections on the Screen and to a lesser extent Nighttime were kind of a bit lackluster in comparison to the other songs on the album. But someone I know didn't like the album, so let's hear what they had to say. It's a little too unstructured and drony for me. Weird sounds kind of mashed together on top of a drum beat, not very coherent. And I listen to a lot of drony music, but it's too far. I mean, okay, you're allowed to have your opinion even if it's wrong, because my opinion is correct, of course, just objectively. But personally, I know I'm a fan of this funky album, with its hefty choruses, deft complexity, and sheer personality. And personally, I really look forward to seeing what Superorganism do in the future.
Some people call me the space cowboy. Wicked wild west, desperado, rough rider. No, you don't want nada. There's 6 gunning this, brother running this. Buffalo, no.